Let's start. Plus, listen, on this time when we say what we're currently watching, I can
Yeah,
talk about I have something because I've been watching something.
got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Got
All right.
it.
My bad.
Okay.
I just got excited about that. that I have something
It is all
that I'm
good.
currently watching. Okay. Post credit clarity pod. What is up, y'all? I'm here with Billy Holick, the one and only Billy Holick, man. I'm Zay.
Yo.
Billy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Yo, I'm fresh off of work. It's like midday. As
Hmm.
soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go take a nap. So to prepare for the nap, I am drinking a little tequila again.
Ooh. Does
I'm
that
saying
does
again.
liquor help you sleep? You personally?
Yeah, yeah. Like it's not like an upper. It's more just like a okay. I'm winding down. Let me pour up
Mm,
like a cup or two.
yeah. Honestly, I understand wine moms. That is a great life to be living.
No, for sure. What? I was about to say
Great
something crazy,
life.
but I was gonna say something insane. But to be able to be a stay-at-home mom, you're doing everything that powerful stay-at-home moms do, and then to end the day
Yeah.
on wine is such an amazing experience.
And you get a little bit of wine in you. You start talking to your kids a little crazy, not too crazy to where they think it's abusive, but a little
Crazy,
crazy, a little
right? You
crazy.
get to, you get to calling up your people, gossiping on the phone
On
because you
God,
wine
like I
drunk.
know Jenny is her neighbor. I know she is.
Yo, did the postman like look a little good today to you, or was that just the wine talking? You know what I'm saying? Like you
Listen,
can get those talks off.
listen. The way his jawline was shaped, you looking good.
Looking amazing, actually. Actually, my husband hasn't me right in 2 weeks. So, next time a bill comes, I might just, yeah, I mean,
I just mosey my way on over to the mailbox, and maybe, just maybe, I'm not wearing a bra. Hmm?
maybe. Hmm, we
Hmm?
never know. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be neighborly. I just want to be nice. You
It's
know.
being kind, having manners. You know who's not kind at all?
Who's not
Carol
kind, Zay?
Sturka. Carol
Yo, the
Sturka.
worst character in the world, actually.
I I
What
I
show?
was
What
so
show is that again?
badly. You said what?
What show is that again? What show is she from?
This is a little known show. Nobody's really watching it right now. Pluribus by
Right.
Vince Gilligan
Oh,
on Apple TV.
Pluribus.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. Got you. Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah,
we
main
guys, we
character.
watched we watched episode 3 of
We
Pluribus.
did.
Me and Billy are so ready to talk about it because, like we said,
We
you
are.
guys didn't hear this, but we said pre-pod we have some similar feelings towards the main character.
We
So
do.
Billy, what were your feelings
Oh,
coming out of this episode, man?
you want me to start? I said it in the previous
Yeah,
episode that Carol is Karen, and this episode only like doubled down on that statement. Like I
correct.
don't like I understand her situation is a situation that you can sympathize with. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously the situation that she's in is an extreme one and you're like, okay, this is a little weird. But her herself, I'm struggling to understand why the writers are making her so unlikable because I know it's a an intentional choice. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, she's very miserable right now. And it was
Extremely.
in it was in it was in the the promotions of the show, like the most miserable person in the world. Everybody is trying to make this person happy. I didn't understand like how miserable it was gonna
For
be.
sure.
I thought it was gonna be like more so like, okay, Mr. Krabs type miserable. I'm just,
Yeah.
looking for a dime. Something like that. Nah, this woman is genuinely infuriating when I'm watching
Bro.
like the show. She gets to Norway. She gets to Norway in the beginning.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
living the life of a queen, a goddess,
yeah.
living the life of a goddess. And she's like, listen, why did we come here? Can't we just go somewhere else? She's super like she is very hard to satisfy.
You know what's funny?
Very hard.
That to me that proves just how much what's her name? Helena loved her.
Helen,
Like her
Helen.
girlfriend Helen, I don't know why I said Helena, but that proves to me how much her girlfriend loved her, because at every moment there's an opportunity to complain about something,
Hmm.
she takes it. And this was prevalent in the first two episodes when they were doing the book tour or whatever, and then they went to go get drinks, so they were at the airport. And then now we get another scene, just again adding more depth to their relationship, and every moment she's complaining. Granted, would I have picked like an ice hotel?
No.
No. Not at
Hell
all.
no, I would have never did that. Like I agree with her in the moment, but it's just like the
For sure.
compounding of the scene after scene after scene of her
After
complaining.
scene, bro.
It's like, bro, it gets to a point. Gets to a
Yeah, dog.
point.
And you know what's funny? Every time this is her like being this contradictor, this walking contradiction. Every time she calls the hive mind, she's complaining about something. Like it's
Hmm.
as if she's calling the manager of a store, but it's like she can't stop calling. So as much as she wants this like distance between her and the hive mind, she refuses to make any real distance. Like she at every opportunity she has, she's calling them and being like, yo, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. Like, yo, leave it. At some point you would think, hey, I don't want to have anything to do with you, I'm gonna isolate myself, similar to where we get in the beginning of the episode where she calls the guy who speaks Spanish, who's
Yep.
like isolated on a self-sufficient, like I think they described it as like a self-sufficient farm. If they didn't describe it like that, that's how I remember it.
It was, yeah, it's something like that. Anyways, he doesn't need the hive mind. That's the point.
He doesn't. He doesn't at all. And obviously you have that scene where she attempts to contact him. Clearly he's not in the mood for that. He's hiding out from the hive mind. So in my head, any call that I get, I'm thinking it's the hive mind. So
Right.
unless you introduce yourself as like, hey, I'm a regular human, like I'm not taking your call seriously. So then they obviously get into that spat, which is another example of like, again, that scene is another example of her being a contradiction, because we ended episode 2 with her stopping the plane to get Shorty, who looks like her book character. And then now that she has Shorty, who looks like her book character, she wants nothing to do with her. She's sitting on the opposite end of the plane. She's being rude to her and stuff like that. It's like, bro, do you want companionship? Do you want somebody to talk to, or not? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And even then, when she had the chance to, well, I don't think he invited her to Las Vegas, but had she been a little bit more friendly to those English speakers in the last episode, she would have
Right.
had people to talk to. She would have, if she was less herself. that's
Which
that's what's
in
killing me. You had
when
the
we were doing
opportunity and you
episode
didn't take it.
right, and when we were doing episodes 1 and 2 recap, we had put up this idea of like, will she within the rest of this season continue to be in contact with the English speakers or not? And you were on the side of she will. I was on the side of she. I mean, you were on the side of she won't, and I was on the side of she will. And to be honest with you, bro, if we continue to get episodes where it's only her and the hive mind, I might have to stop watching the show, because that was a hard episode to get through, bro. And it was one of the shorter ones.
Yeah, what I really liked, I think that the first half or so is a little, I think the pacing was a little bit rough there. I think it was kind of slow a little bit because not much is happening. It's just Carol being angry, and
Right.
of course you had like the flashback and stuff like that. But then in the second half of the episode, when she does ask for the hand grenade, that's when the more points about the episode get brought up, and like the
Right.
narrative point get brought up and stuff like that.
Kind
So
of the
the
themes
second
of
half
it,
of the
maybe.
episode was the highlight for me personally.
For sure. What's funny? I liked that part because to me, like one of the things this episode was questioning was like, what are the limits to their willingness to like make her happy? Because like as a hive mind, individual wants don't occur. Like everything is for the greater good of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So like nobody's going out of their way to eat a chocolate bar just because they want it. They would eat the chocolate bar because it's nutritious for them, and obviously it's not. So fuck chocolate. You know what I'm saying? And so she asked if they like outside the grenade scene. She asked if they would get her a nuke, and they struggled with like trying to find the cause of why she wanted a nuke, because like one, why would you want one, and like what purpose does that serve? You know what I'm saying? Which
Mm-hmm.
to me is showing the negative sides of the hive mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know. I think through the rest of the season, I think this is a really good episode only because through the rest of the season, I feel like this, and this is a theory. I feel like the hive mind, they can clearly control like how much of the hive mind they are. If we're assuming that they truly deleted Helen's memories. Because if anybody doesn't know, you should watch this episode. Early in the episode, um, Carol was like, "Listen, I don't want you accessing Helen's memories. It feels weird. You're not Helen, and yet you have this like faux intimacy with me. So from now on, I want you to delete Helen's memories from your memory bank, and I want to be the one to remember Helen. So if we're assuming that that's what they did, then they clearly have control on how much of a hive mind they are. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I think throughout the show, they're gonna realize that being less of a hive mind is actually better for their overall health as this like alien species. You know what I'm saying? I think that eventually you're gonna start to see them loosening the reins and kind of become like hive-ish. Like just enough of a hive mind to have like a high level of empathy, but not enough to wash away what makes a person a person. And I think Karen's outbursts are gonna lead to that. And Karen's I keep saying Karen's.
Carol.
Carol's outbursts are going to lead to that, and Carol's ridiculous questioning of their like motives and ridiculous questioning of who they are, because clearly nobody's ever asked them these questions. So it's almost like I feel like the hive mind is gonna go through an identity crisis throughout the season.
Which is interesting because it's like, does it even have the ability to like lessen? It's because it doesn't. As we continue to watch these episodes, it doesn't. It still doesn't really understand itself fully.
Right,
So
right.
does it really, by the end of the season, which there are 9 episodes, we're on episode 3, it could, episode 7, 8, could it finally figure out like, okay, I know how to like control myself. I know how to like, kind of
For
like
sure.
a baby learning to walk. I think that's what
And
we're watching right now.
I like the idea of a baby learning to walk because Carol asked them, "Hey, how close are we to figuring out the technology to make me a hive mind?" Because remember, that's their thing. They're like, "Hey, we can't get you to join the hive mind. For some reason, you were immune. So we got our scientists to figure it out." And even they were like, "Well, science takes time. You know what I'm saying? We haven't really figured it
Yeah.
out." So to me, that showed like, oh, we don't truly know what we are. Like in the when we did the recaps of episode 1 and 2, one thing that I brought up was, where did they come from? Who are they? You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
so I think, like I said, like you said, we're watching baby learn how to walk. I think they recently came out and said this show is going to get 3 to 4 seasons. And so I truly think this first season and maybe a little bit of the second season is them figuring out who they are and their identity in comparison to who humans are and their identities. And then season 3 and 4, I have no idea where they're gonna go, but I do think that's a big theme of this hive mind is figuring out who they are and their origin.
Yeah, a lot of people are debating on whether this show is about AI or not, and there are a lot of like good reasons as to why you could say this show is
Break those
AI.
down.
Yeah, there's a lot of good reasons as to why you could say this show is AI. But I recently found out that Vince created this show and the idea. He started writing it before the idea of before AI became ever such a like a big thing in like pop culture. So if he wrote it
Mm,
before, then this has to be something else. And I was thinking it more so is about humanity and like
yeah,
individualism versus like collectivism, because we consistently see like Carol wants to be on her own. She wants to be independent, but she literally cannot survive without the help of the hive mind. We saw when she got to the grocery store, she was like, "Man, I want to be able to do these groceries. I want to be able to do it by myself." But in order for you to have the groceries in the store, the hive mind has to bring back all the items, all the food, all everything, and
right.
and all of them work together to get it done in about, I think it was an hour that they got it done, which is like
Yeah,
kind of special. And she wants to compared to Carol, she doesn't really want to work with them. And it's like, at some point, at what point are you going to realize that, like, for even just for efficiency's sake, like, you kind
yeah,
of need to work with this thing that you don't know and are low key kind of falling in love with by the end of the episode.
For sure. And it's like I don't know, like that scene to me felt like a critique of like us right now, because as much as we're so focused on our own agendas, we're so focused on our own goals and individuality, sometimes we forget that we need each other to make things run. Because even if they weren't a hive mind, the idea that you're independent because you can go to a grocery store and pick out the groceries is like this false narrative that we give ourselves, because without other people the grocery store isn't there. Without the people to pick the fruits and the vegetables, they don't get to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she's always had this like fake idea of what independence is, and I think I may be doing a heavy lifting here, but I think throughout the scene she was starting to realize that, which kind of made her relax a little bit on the hive mind maybe helping her and things of that nature, which is like she realized like, oh shit, I never truly was independent. I just walked around the world as if I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then to even like assume that the hive mind brought you like a fake hand grenade. What what in the past 2 episodes or in the past 2 days or 4 days, however many weeks it's been, what in the time before it's shown you has told you that like, oh, they're gonna bring me a fake hand grenade. They know what sarcasm is. They know like what joking
Right.
is.
Plus,
What come
why
on,
would you
bro.
need
Like,
sarcasm as a hive mind? And literally everything a hive mind does is for the needs of the people, not the wants. They have no idea what sarcasm is, because every piece of communication is as efficient as it possibly can be, because it's for the collective health of everybody. So it's like for you to assume one, the grenade is fake, and then for you to like even push that further with the whole nuke conversation. To me, one, it was like two levels where again it showed the limitations of the hive mind, which I said earlier, but it also again shows that Karen porn of just like, yo, shorty, like we get it,
yeah.
yo. You don't like where
And
you're
I
at.
think that
Like,
I think that scene was like foreshadowing a little bit the atom bomb. I don't think they're literally gonna have like Carol ask for an atom bomb, but I do think that her like destructiveness can be like compared to an atom bomb, because you see in at the end of the episode when she like pulls the pin of the hand grenade, just like experimenting. She's like, "You guys in like, come on, bro. Like, yes, you gotta like actually take things seriously." I think that
for
eventually by
sure.
the end of this season, maybe into next season, she's going to like genuinely, and she already has like genuinely hurt the world, but she's going to continue to genuinely hurt the world if she doesn't accept what it is.
Mm. You know what's crazy? I think there's only gonna be one more incident throughout the show. There's 9 episodes. I think there's only gonna be one more incident where she does widespread damage,
Hmm.
and that might be like the straw to break the camel's back. That like I think eventually she's gonna be so Karen and so negative that they're gonna have to respond negatively to her. And that, and this is just me talking off the top of my head, and that I feel like is gonna make the hive mind evolve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because up to this point, everything that they do is we want to make you happy. We want to make you happy because they recognize that she's an individual person with individual needs, and they recognize that we are separate from you. So the goal is to make you as happy as possible. And I think this season they're gonna come to like immovable object meets unstoppable force, and they might fucking snap. That's the
If
prediction I'm giving out right now. You heard it here first. They might snap.
what does that look like though? Like, do they put her, because I don't think they do anything that is necessarily, because we see all the ideals that they have. They don't believe in hurting animals, they don't
Right.
believe in hurting anything. They're vegetarian. They don't do anything like that. They believe in collective efficiency. They're doing all the things we should be doing right now. So if Carol
Right.
becomes as big of a problem as, you're predicting, what do they do? Do they like lock her down in her house? Like, what, like, how do they go about this while still
You know
respecting
what's
their own morality?
you know what's funny? I don't think it's gonna be this big, like, you know how in movies where they have hive minds, like everybody attacks you at once.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
like everybody's running. I don't think it's gonna be that. I truly think it's gonna be the book lady. I can't think of her name. I think it's gonna be her. I think she's gonna do. I think Carol's gonna do something, and the book lady is gonna get beside herself enough to like slap her or something, and
Yeah.
that's gonna send the hive mind into this existential crisis. Because even when Carol was asking about the nuke, you could see the individual person that was representing the hive mind become uncomfortable, which is something we haven't seen before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was clearly a choice. Like very clearly, they told the actor be uncomfortable, do certain facial expressions to show your discomfort. Like, and I
He was
think
cooking, by the way.
he was, bro, great scene. And I think it'll be something subtle. I literally think she's gonna snap, and Shorty is gonna like backhand the fuck out of her, and then she's gonna be surprised at her reaction, like, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that." Da 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 da. We're only here to make you happy. We're only here to make you happy. And then what that's gonna do is send the hive mind into existential crisis, but then also confirm to Carol her like her suspicions of this hive mind and be like, "Oh shit, you
Right.
are capable of XYZ. I was right the whole time."
Which then relates back to what we were saying in the last episode, kind of makes them human, which is scary for Carol, and a truth that she doesn't want to accept, but something that we both already see, that like the thing, like we said on the last episode, it has personality, it has layers, it has depth. So if it continues to show you that, what's going to be like yes, we know that Helen died. We're very sorry about Helen. You know, we're sad that that happened that night, but again, at what point are you going to accept what is?
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah. I don't know, man.
yeah,
They have us in an interesting position where, on the surface, like we said in the beginning of the episode, we didn't like, or maybe this was pre-pod. Like we didn't really like the episode. It was kind of slow or whatever. But I do think this episode was necessary in order to add more like, I keep saying depth. I hate you. I gotta find a new word, but adding more depth to in each individual character and kind of where they can go. And I think next episode we're gonna see more action. And I think for the preceding episodes after that, it's only gonna get more and more chaotic.
yeah. So I did want to ask you about a specific moment in the episode. We see Carol asks for the hand grenade, and then she invites I don't know her name, but she invites Hive Mind Lady into the house, and they have a little
Right.
conversation. They talk about what's Carol finally asks, like, what is it like, being you? And she kind of describes it. And I really did like that moment, because at first, when the music starts playing and Carol is talking and she's, describing all these nice places, which is obviously sarcasm again,
Right.
it's silent, and then music starts playing, and it's like a known sarcasm from the makers of the show, into where they're like, oh, Carol's being sarcastic, now we're being overly sarcastic, we're breaking the fourth wall with the sarcasm. But it eventually turns into like an actually nice moment at the end, where she, it harkens back to the beginning of the episode, which is like, this is what I really like about Vince Gilligan's work. Everything always matters, no
Mm-hmm.
matter no matter what you think it is. Everything matters
For sure.
into the narrative. There's nothing that doesn't matter. Even when Carol said, "Why don't you just bring me a hand grenade?" He made sure that that mattered. That's actually called like a Chekhov's gun, when you bring like something into the story and
Yeah.
it seems like it doesn't have anything to do with the story, but it ends up having like big implications later on in the episode. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
the simpler version of that is like if they show it to you on screen, it's important. Like they're
Yeah.
not gonna show you a gun without it being used.
Yeah, exactly. And I really did like that moment of her just describing, and then the hive mind finishes it with the, or like a ice hotel in Norway.
Did you
And I was just like, damn, like that's fire.
did you read anything about the way that they use blue this episode?
No, I did not. I did not read anything about the blue. Even though I did
Because that was
notice
a
it. I
prominent
noticed
color.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed it in the beginning, and I saw some of it in the rest of the episode. I thought it was cool. Do you have
Mhm.
anything about that or no?
No, you're the color guy.
I'm
I
the
was
I'm the
like,
color guy.
you are the
I'm
color
I'm the
guy.
color. How about, okay, listen. Say something about that moment and I'll look it up within like 3 seconds.
Well, I will say, there was multiple things that were blue. So there was the Hive Lady's blue dress. The entire ice hotel was blue. They even cut to like a blue flower sometime during the episode. So like this episode featured like blue very prominently, and the last episodes featured yellow and purple very prominently. There's very clearly um like an intentional use of colors. And we keep saying it, like Vince Gilligan overall, this episode wasn't written by Vince Gilligan, but this episode was actually written and directed by someone who was a part of the Breaking Bad and the Better Call Saul universe.
Hmm.
And so clearly they're under the tutelage of Vince Gilligan, and so very clearly specific choices were made. Like I said, with the character and showing emotions of the hive mind, but now with the colors and the color blue. So like obviously we knew what the color yellow and purple meant last episode, but for blue this episode, did you pull something up, Zay?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Appreciate you stalling. Appreciate you stalling. Okay. So it says blue is consistently used for stories that relate to the meaning of life, which now that we think about it, now that I said it earlier in the podcast, gives me even more proof and more reasons to think that this is not about AI. It's way more about like humanity and how
For
we
sure.
do things and how
Which
we should be doing things versus how we don't.
for sure. Which I mean, this happens with art all the time, bro. I believe it's called artistic fallacy. I think is the name. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comics. But what happens with artistic fallacy is that, and it typically happens with artists and people who aren't here to explain themselves. But what happens is people digest art different ways, and so because people digest art different ways, they're able to explain and throw meanings on it that aren't necessarily the intention of the original art. The biggest example of that is the Mona Lisa and how she has like this slight smirk. So some people reveal like look at the smirk as like, oh, she's being happy. Some people look at the smirk as like she has this sly, coy feeling to her, but we don't know because we can't ask Leonardo.
Hmm.
With this specifically, a lot of people are throwing AI, which I don't think is necessarily wrong. But like Zay said, this is to me and to us over here at PCC, this shows about humanity and the levels of humanity and how we have to interact with each other, which is about AI. Like, if we're looking at the AI
Yeah.
things that are happening now, they're trying to cut out the human experience to continue to feed our algorithm, to continue to keep us engaged with these apps. And so, this show, while it may have been written before AI, it came out in the perfect time because we do have something that directly contradicts what the human experience is. So that when we watch this show, we have experience and we're able to relate to the show better. It's like this like I said, it's like the show came out at the perfect time. And so I think having these themes of humanity, especially with this hive mind, is going to lead to the show being even bigger than maybe if it showed up like 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and to anybody that does think the show about is about AI, that's I'm not calling you stupid or dumb or anything like that. There's a lot of reasons to think that it is.
No, he
Specifically,
is.
the way that the hive mind speaks and the way that it like the actual speech that it uses is very similar to AI, where they're always like, "Listen, we just want to do everything we can to make you happy," and
For
we
sure.
want to we want to provide. Excuse me. Shit, my bad. We want to do everything we can to provide the best life that we can for you, and not really seeming like they have any ambition themselves. But
Right.
I do think that that is like looking at the surface of it, and once you get deeper and deeper into it, like the way that the hive mind responded after one of Carol's loud outbursts, and just the way that it responded, and the way that it just like stopped, kind of had like a seizure, like a worldwide seizure, a mass seizure. I just think that I think that for that reason specifically, and a lot more, the show is about humanity. But moving on to the rest of the episode. Carol pulls the pin on the hand grenade. uh Hive mind lady grabs it out of her hand, throws it outside. By the way, she looked like an action star right there. That was
She did.
W
She did.
W quick thinking by Hive
I'm
mind
not gonna
lady.
lie. the more the show goes on, the more I'm like attracted to this lady.
Bro,
I'm like
she's a good looking woman.
I'm this close to looking up her actual name. I'm only hesitating because I don't want it to get in the way of me enjoying the show. But I'm very close to being like, hey Google, who played this character?
Yo, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, that's a good woman right there. I understand what Buddy was talking about in episode 2, man. He was cooking. But yeah, she throws the hand grenade outside. It does blow up, and this is I don't know if it's just me, but did you realize that like grenades are like that strong, or am I tripping? Like everybody knew this, or like it was.
I think everybody knew this, but I do think that the overuse of grenades in media makes us feel like it's not that bad.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
that's
I'm
my
saying?
fault. That's my fault. I play too much Call of Duty. You get hit by a grenade, it don't really mean that you're dead. You know, you could be like 1 HP sometimes. That's my fault. That's on me. It's on me. Too much gaming.
That's definitely on you. Too much gaming, yo. Too much AI in your life.
Too much AI. Yeah, yeah, yeah. God damn it, bro. God, Chat GPT, bro. I will kill you.
Yo, we gotta
Um,
kill ChatGPT, yo.
I gotta get a virus. I gotta send Chat GPT to the dark web.
So it can get
Yeah,
corrupted.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the
Wait,
good
would it
grenade.
end up like Ultron? Damn, we're cooked.
I don't think ChatGPT ends up like Ultron because I don't think ChatGPT is smart enough to end up like Ultron.
Mm,
I think ChatGPT 10 years from now ends up like Ultron, but ChatGPT right now, nah, yo, we can get that out the paint.
I'm hearing you. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. You was about to say something?
No, I was saying we get the scene where she pulls a grenade, it explodes, and then and then this is the weird part, right?
Yeah.
So again, this comes with her being a walking contradiction. She treats these hive mind as if they're not human, but then the moment she has to save them, even in the last episodes, when they were like seasoned up and they weren't in full control, she was trying to save the human. And in this episode, she was trying to save the hive lady. So to me, it's like, well, do you like what's going on? If you truly believe this is a hive mind, then a part of you doesn't care if these people die. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because they're no longer the people that they are. And so to me, it continues to show like one Carol's weakening defenses and weakening like pillars of morality when it comes to how she views the hive mind. And then two, again, just her being this walking contradiction constantly.
Yeah. She like you said, she contradicts herself consistently, and it's like it's kind of like a question of like she doesn't want to be in community with the hive mind. She doesn't want to be friends with the hive mind. But like we said earlier, she needs the hive mind. So even if you don't want that community, if you're forced to be in that community, you're gonna be a part of it. You know? So it's
For
like
sure.
it's like it's gonna be like we keep saying, when is she gonna like accept this? Maybe this is her arc for the season, is like accepting the hive mind, and continuously. I don't know what season 2 would be, but this is probably this season.
Oh,
But
I literally this feels like one of those shows that could be wrapped up in season one. I have no idea what is gonna happen in seasons two, three, and
yeah,
four.
that's a real question
Like,
for me, because if seasons 2, 3, if we keep hearing that the hive mind is like trying to figure out like how to bring Carol into its ranks, is it not gonna figure that out by the end of this season? Is it just gonna be like
fine,
a ticking time bomb where we're just all like watching the show, but like thinking like, yeah, but at some point the main character has got to go. Like,
gotta go. But like to me, this show runs the risk of jumping the shark. And
how so?
unfortunately, I think it runs the risk of jumping the shark in season two. And the only reason I think that it'll jump the shark, it won't jump the shark, is if they like spread out this story over the course of like a couple of seasons, which to me probably won't make good TV. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
they're walking this thin line of spreading out this story amongst different seasons or finishing up kind of like this specific conflict that they're going through and creating more, which I don't know how they would do.
Yeah, but hey man, if I know Vince Gilligan from watching Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and the Aaron Paul spinoff, This nigga is gonna throw something at us that we just 1,000,000% do not expect. So I'm
Insane.
actually expecting the unexpected here. I'm locked in
Right.
with Vince. So
I do
yeah,
want to tell the audience. I
with
do want to
what?
tell the audience real quick. They clearly were cartoons, so you don't know this. Zay doesn't know this either. I'm currently 2 cups in. I'm feeling great. We're having a great time.
What? Can
We're,
you let them know
we're
what you're
having a good
drinking?
time.
Let them know what you're drinking.
I am drinking tequila, specifically. Let me see. What is the bottle
Right.
called?
What's brand? What's brand?
Specifically, Humano. Ironically,
Mmm.
we're talking about the human experience, and the name of this bottle is Humano. You know what I'm saying?
Mmm.
Made in
Hermano.
Mexico. Not Hermano, like brother. Um, Humano. Let's get that
Yeah,
right.
I just said hermano because I needed a Spanish no to say. That's all. Right. So moving on, Carol also. I wonder what bottle she was drinking. I couldn't see the name of it, but it did look expensive. Did look expensive. Like it cost a
Oh
couple
yeah,
hundreds.
she is also an alcoholic,
You're right.
which
You're right. She's an
we have
alcoholic
that in
and
common.
she's rich, which might be the worst combination of all time.
It's true, but she doesn't have to pay for her alcohol anymore, so now she gets unlimited amounts of alcohol. Which,
Which is fire.
yeah,
Fire, by the way,
do
because
you think?
I'm thinking about. I've just been thinking about like just watching the show. I'm just like all the bad things that you worry about, like when you get drunk, like being a nuisance, like maybe messing something up. When you have a world that is controlled like by a hive mind, you kind of don't have to worry about any of the bad things anymore.
Bro, if
The-
I'm in a world of hive mindness and I'm getting drunk, I'm definitely just walking around naked, like in the middle of the street.
yeah, you don't have to worry. There's no more like social norm. There's
Right.
there's none of that. There's none of that. That's actually kind of fire. It's like Adam and Eve again.
Yo, this
Part two.
nigga. Part two. Yeah, nah, they don't want to
The
give us
squeakquel.
next mind. This first episode, we were like, "Yo, Ice Spice?" Question mark. Second
Mm.
episode, we're like, we're definitely doing some illegal things because why would they care?
Literally, man. Hey man, you here to make me happy? Like let me rock. Let me rock. And then I started
Nah,
I started
facts.
thinking about things that like, man, I wouldn't have all these bills I gotta pay.
For
Bills
sure.
done, stress zero. Which is you
Zero.
think about you think about this and you're like, how is Carol so miserable? You
Because,
this
bro,
is
she's
like
better than us. She's better than us, bro. She believes in the human spirit more than us. We are clearly two people who align with the French dude way more than we align with Carol. Clearly,
bro, I'm
we've
I'm with
established.
him,
She's
bro.
currently while she's going through this like crises of morality, he's in Vegas living it up. By the way,
10 bitches on his hip. 10 of them. Just
10 of them,
chilling.
and this episode is gonna come out before we're like pro female in our Jennifer's Body episode, so we don't have time. We don't have a foundation of showing y'all that we're not misogynist, but to not but to not sound misogynist, I'm not gonna lie. 10 of the baddest Jones in the world that are only there to like do my bidding sounds like a great time.
Bro, sounds amazing. Plus, and this is the part that is really killing me with Carol. You had food delivered to you. The best meal. You
Fresh
said that
food.
was the best meal. Fresh food. You said that was the best meal that you've had in a long time. From 2012, you had a specific memory delivered to you, and you don't partake in
Yeah,
it. You
it
eat
was
some like
hot.
frozen
It
dinner.
was like, bro, it was freshly cooked. It was hot, bro. It was like when she opened it, it was steaming.
They didn't even, bro. They didn't even bother her. They didn't even say anything to her. They just brought the food to her, and then she called them. She
This
called
is true.
them.
And I don't know what it is, bro. I think she keeps thinking like they're gonna drug her or something, but they're
Yeah.
very clearly an honest person. I keep just doing the hive mind as a person. They're very clearly
I
like an
mean,
honest person. So in my head, I think they would tell them. I think they would tell
yeah.
Carol like, "Hey,
They'll be like, listen, man, we
we
figured
have
it
the
out.
antidote.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go."
Yeah, remember that life raft we was talking about? It's right here. Then they put it in her neck.
What if they ooh, what if they don't warn her? What if they
Mm,
figure it out and they're like, she's not gonna take this, but this is better for everybody overall.
that
So
would
we
give
have to force her
me
to do this.
more steam for my sexual assault theory, and that this is, you feel me?
This the whole thing is an allegory.
Yep, sexual assault. This whole thing is about sexual
Has
assault. It's
Gilligan
not
has
funny, but it
Gilligan
is like kind of.
how has Gilligan been through like a sexual assault experience?
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know anything about like his. Have you?
What?
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about Vince Gilligan's past, anything in his childhood, anything that happened like that. I don't know.
Got you
I'm just, theorizing on what the show maybe,
for sure.
Yeah. So the one thing that I do actually really want to talk about is whatever hive mind lady gets she gets it not she yeah, she gets hurt a little bit, but the specific thing that they mention is like a concussion. So my
Yes.
question is like, will that like affect her in any type of way? Will that affect the hive mind? Because
Mm,
we know what kind of effects brain injuries have had on people as a whole.
this
So
is true.
will that affect the hive mind as a whole? Because we know their connection is mental.
That's that's a good question, actually. Holy shit! If we don't see her next episode, did the concussion like get rid of the hive mind? And if so, does that like make Carol on the offensive? Because this whole time she's kind of been like, I don't know what to do. Not necessarily defensive, but I don't know what to do. And so
Yeah.
if she knows that Shorty is no longer hive mind because she got the concussion, I think that puts her on the offensive and like I think that's what gets her back in contact with the English speakers. Is being like, yo, I have an actual plan of getting your person back and not
Give them
this
all
hive mind
concussions,
that you've been
which
hanging
is not the
But
best
you
plan,
know what's crazy?
but it's a
You
plan.
know what's crazy? They said I did hear somewhere that there are floating theories as to why the Spanish nigga that she was calling, because when they introduced the Spanish nigga, they said he went undetected for longer than anybody else, so we didn't know about him, and then we had to find out about him. So there is this running theory that he was when Carol first like lashed out and made everybody do a seizure, he was one of the people who unhived mind when all that stuff happened, and that's why he went undetected.
Mm. And the hive, do you think the hive mind like forgot that it was inside of him? Pause.
I don't know. I don't know what the details of the theory are, but that is like a loose theory that I've seen and heard online. So if we're taking that as like something to think about, then this idea of brain injuries unhive minding people is interesting.
Yeah, we've got to keep a close eye on that for episodes 3, 4, and 5. But as for the last part of this episode, she talks to the guy. She, by the way, it looks like she's been waiting in there maybe all night, which is Jesus, Carol. You are not, living by your word here. But yeah. So
Yo,
she's
she
waiting
is
on.
so clearly time out, bro. She is so clearly in love with this person, and
Yeah,
she's going through this like internal struggle of like this isn't the actual person that I'm in love with. This is the hive mind. But she's
yeah,
so clearly like at the very least attracted, which was the reason that the hive mind chose that specific lady. But it's like you keep hiding from it, and it's like, bro, you trying to fuck Shorty, bro. Let's be honest, yo.
literally, literally. You trying to get her
Like,
a fan?
come
You
on,
trying to
yo.
put panic down? You trying to nah.
Because if you didn't care, and if that wasn't your goal, you wouldn't have stayed there and been like, "Is she okay?" You mean, are you okay, hive mind? Like,
Right.
what are we talking about?
Yeah, I think eventually she might end up like one of the other English speakers who had the hive mind kind of like make it seem like it was a real human being, like they tried their best to imitate a real human
Yeah,
being. She
yeah.
might end up like that at the end of this season. Yeah, so she waits there. that whole time we've already pointed out that like, listen, she's in love with the girl. And then she talks to the guy, and the guy is basically saying like, yeah, she's fine, and she begins to question the hive mind on why they brought her an actual hand grenade, and as the many other things that they might bring her. This part I thought again very confusing from Carol, because like we've already pointed out, the hive mind is not like disingenuous. It's not sarcastic. It doesn't have any
For
of these
sure.
abilities to like lie, because like Billy said earlier, it's not efficient to lie. It's trying to speak in the most efficient way to make sure everybody again is happy. So Carol asks these questions. The hive mind is like, yeah, and then Carol asks if we would give you an atom bomb, and she's like, or not her specifically, but the guy's like, yeah, we would weigh the pros and cons, but like, yeah, we would do that for you. And then he says we would move heaven and earth to make you happy. What were
Yeah.
your thoughts on that sequence of events there?
I mean, I've said it earlier. I think this is where we test the limits of what a hive mind is. I think the hive mind, again, not knowing their origins, not knowing how exactly they are a hive mind, they've never had anybody that's not a hive mind around them, so they've never been able to question their existence. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which I like we said in throughout this entire episode, I do think that the hive mind as a character is its entire arc is who am I in comparison to Carol. Like I think Carol is gonna make them question who are they and like what is their role within society? What is their role within these people that they're taking over? You know what I'm saying? And to me, like I said, as I said it earlier, the guy looks very clearly upset. He looks very clearly like uncomfortable, and that was a
Yeah.
very specific choice by the directors, by the writers, and by the actors. So to me, it makes me question why, and it leads me to the theory of hive mind is going to become more human throughout the show.
Yeah. So, do you have any predictions for the next episode? Do you have anything that you think might happen, or?
Specifically, the next episode, I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
think
Not the rest of the season, just the next episode.
I think Hive Lady comes back, but I think hmm, no, I don't think Hive Lady is coming back. I like our idea of you unhive people through brain trauma.
Mhm.
I don't think she comes back. And I think Carol spends the entire episode being like, "Well, you said she was okay. So where is she?" And
Yeah,
that
she
makes her
start
more
raging.
suspicious and
Maybe
then
she starts raging and she causes the hive mind
she
lady to
causes
die.
another thing. True, but I think that's gonna happen. But then I also think she's gonna make it more of a point. She's gonna make more of a point to go visit the Spanish nigga that's like self sufficient.
She's gonna try, but he's like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. He on some like genuine zero dark 30 shit. Like he's not being
For
found.
sure.
He's not. It's not happening, man. Yeah. So that was episode 3. Our thoughts on episode 3 of Pluribus. We semi enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next
Semi
episode.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, semi enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely looking forward to the next episode. I actually have a lot of stock in Pluribus being very good, because I had an argument with one of our fans on the timeline about how Pluribus people were overrating Pluribus and they needed to wait for the rest of the season coming out. And I was trying to
Yeah.
explain to that person that, listen, this is Vince Gilligan we're talking about. We're not talking about any kind of other,
Right.
guy who may have made a show called The Last of Us and a game called The Last of Us. We're not talking about those kind of people. They don't know how to make shows. They don't know how to make good shows. This is a guy that, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, known quantity. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we're definitely gonna get it's fine for people to overrate the first 2 episodes, because I know that the rest of the season is gonna be good. So
Yeah, he earned us overrating the first episodes. Like
exactly.
this episode 3, 4, and 5 are really gonna show us what this show is about. And if this show is something worth investing in. But those first 2 episodes, especially because it came out at the same time, like he has the resume for us to overhype it. Like I don't know why that's such a point of contention. I truly think that that narrative of being like, oh, here y'all go overhyping. Truly think that the people who have that narrative are miserable people who are forcing this contrarianism. No, I'm serious. I truly think you sit at home and you're a miserable
Cook
person
him.
because
Cook him.
not no, like because he deserves like he earned it. This isn't like a brand new director. This isn't somebody who's like, oh, it's my first show. You know what I'm saying? Like the director and writer of him, that was his first piece of work. So it
Mhm.
makes sense for people to be like, well, I don't know. Like maybe his next one will be good, but like if he comes out with something else, it makes sense to be hesitant and be like, okay, let's see what this turns out to be. But Vince Gilligan is somebody who has given us quality consistently, and that's
Yeah.
something that's hard to do. So for people to be like, and I'm not even talking about specifically about him, the fan that you're talking about. I'm just saying in general for people to be like, oh, look at y'all overhyping. You guys are miserable. You guys sit at home and y'all are sad all day, and y'all scroll through Netflix and y'all wonder what should I watch? What should I watch? Y'all are the people who have a Peacock subscription simply to watch The Office. You know that's who you are. That's that's who you are sitting at home. You watch Netflix to go and be like, oh, I can't wait for the new season of Stranger Things. That's who you are.
Let's go.
Those kids,
Let's
those kids are
go.
30 playing 16-year-olds because Netflix doesn't care about the product that it gives you. Like that's who you are. Like you don't deserve good art. That's what I'm saying about you.
Can I
The
say one
audience
thing?
member.
Can I say
Go
one thing?
ahead.
I'm hype as hell for Stranger Things season 5. That's all I'll say. Billy, what are you currently watching right now?
Got it. Yo, this nigga stepped on my
I'm
my
hype.
already be like, well, I'm
That
well, it
trailer,
makes
that
sense that
trailer was
you're
ass, but
excited for it. You're not a cinephile. Yeah, that trailer was the worst trailer I've ever seen
trailer
in my
was
life.
horrible. It was bad shit. They released a clip recently of 11 doing like a little training montage. It's not even like a montage. It's just like her like
Yeah,
running
yeah, I
through,
seen it.
and like that clip was fucking
First of
garbage.
all, we gotta have a conversation about Millie Bobby Brown and her athleticism. Like
Oh
she
my
should have been
god, it's not there.
practicing.
She looked like me out there. I'm not gonna lie, bruh. And if you've ever seen that, there's a video floating around on the internet. Who knows what internet? There's a video floating around on the internet of me, in pads. That video exists.
getting getting
If
demolished.
you've seen it, you've seen it. And to say that Millie Bobby Brown looks like me out there is not, you know, totally encouraging. So maybe they should
Bro,
have a stunt
she
person or something, but she looked
yeah, they should have
horrible.
had a stunt person. They should have did something. Like that's how I know this season's gonna suck, yo. The teaser that they gave us was Millie Bobby Brown just flopping around like, yeah, I'm training. I'm
Yeah.
11. Look at me. No, you're not. You're 35, actually. Stop calling yourself 11. How about we start there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So um I think they have like a little history where season 1 was really 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 good, one of the best things to ever come out in like post 2000, one of the best TV shows to come out post 2000. Season 2 received weirdly. I didn't think
Ain't
season 2
ain't
was
one
that
of the
good.
actors a Zionist? Ain't one of the actors a
Yeah, it's
Zionist?
the guy that plays Will. I
Yeah,
think
yo,
he
pack
made
the
like
show up.
TikToks about
Yo, pack
like
the show up, yo.
Israel and stuff.
Only
It was
person I'm ever
embarrassing.
rooting for,
It's really
only person I'm ever
embarrassing.
rooting for is Caleb McLaughlin. Is that his name? Caleb McLaughlin?
McLaughlin, yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
actor. He
yeah.
needs to
Sorry,
be in more
we
things.
support we support everything black around here. Millie Bobby Brown, you can get her out of here. The
Yeah.
Zionist nigga, you can get her out of here. The dude who got like the no teeth disease or whatever, like the weird mouth disease, you can get him out of here. Bro, that looks like Adrian Brody's little cousin, pack him up. Pack him up. Yo,
Hey,
we done
you
with
know who
Stranger
else we
Things.
support around here? Sadie Sink. Okay, Sadie Sink. Anything you watch, I will be there. All right.
Yo, he has a white woman fetish, y'all. This nigga is insane.
Listen, Sadie Sink is very talented actor. I love her. I love the
Yo,
way
I
that she
hope
acts.
I hope Stranger Things flops. That's what I hope. I hope
Damn.
Stranger Things is the worst thing y'all have ever
You know
seen in
what's
your life.
coming out is the last episode, the last 2 episodes. One's gonna come out, I think, Christmas in theaters. The last one's gonna come out. Blah, blah, blah. The last one is gonna come out New Year's Eve in theaters. So it's gonna be like
Bro,
an actual
they
like
trying to
event.
milk this joint
Yeah,
so
Netflix
much. But you know
is.
what's crazy? I
Yeah,
work at a movie theater. If people show up for a Stranger Things
they
premiere,
will.
bro, I'm booing them. I'm
They
booing them
will.
in
I did
person.
you see how many people showed up to watch Love Island live at like
I
different
didn't.
places?
I
Yeah,
didn't.
so
But
so
I do know how
yeah.
many people showed up for that Taylor Swift concert. That was a lot of
Yep.
people.
So that's, same audience, my guy. So you're gonna be working extra hard those days. You're
Yo,
working extra
I
hard.
swear, if I see anybody over there, and like if somebody for some strange reason recognizes my voice because we're cartoons, if somebody recognizes my voice, like, are you the co-host, the PCC? I'm throwing popcorn in your face because what are you doing there? You 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 should be better. You listen to this podcast, you should be a better cinephile. And even if you're not a full cinephile, you should like love yourself more than going to the Stranger Things movie premiere when it premieres on Netflix. Like this is something that comes out on Netflix. Why are you going to the theater for a subpar season? Like what are we talking about? This isn't High School Musical 3, guys.
Let's go. Let's
this
go. This
isn't
not High School Musical 3.
this isn't High School Musical 3, guys.
Let's
There's no need
go.
to go to the theater to experience this. What are we doing?
This is, oh my gosh, this is special, man. Yeah, yeah. This is not. Listen, you heard it here first, man. Stranger Things is not High School Musical 3. I'll tell you that right now. Um, Now listen, the one thing that I'll say is that I can't imagine that this will be an unpopular take from Billy. There's no way that everybody is gonna just wildly disagree with this and try to kill him. Um, Billy, again, I'm gonna ask you for a third time.
My
What
bad,
are you
man.
watching currently?
What am I currently watching? I'm watching something that eclipses Stranger Things, a show that arguably is some of the best media to ever touch our screens. I guys have decided to start Naruto.
Ooh,
Naruto.
I told him to start this, by the way.
He did not tell me. He doesn't watch anime. Don't let him get these lies off. Naruto Uzumaki, my guy, is
Naruto.
out here. Is out here. We gotta stop. We
What
gotta
what
stop.
episode are you on? What arc are you on?
I'm currently in the beginning of the tuning exams.
Oh my god.
Um,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
cinema. I'll say
The tuning
cinema.
exams is one of the best arcs like ever. It's one of the best when you get. I can't wait until you finish the tuning exams because it doesn't. The rest of the show is very good, but it doesn't
Yeah,
sniff the tuning exams. But I'm excited for
I,
you to finish that because I want to
I
talk
will
about that with you.
say I will say there is because I'm brand new into like my anime phases or whatever. So I've seen Attack on Titan, I've seen Demon
Nasty
Slayer.
garbage show, terrible show.
I've
I
seen,
hate that fucking show.
all right, let's relax. I've seen
Shit stinks.
Megalobox, and there is this consistent theme amongst main characters where whatever their goal is, they're gonna tell you 1,000 times in an episode. So
Yep.
Naruto, he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna become Hokage." Tanjiro was like, "I'm gonna save my sister and do good," and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they always tell you. What I will say is that character trait is super endearing in Naruto. It's super endearing in the main character from Megalobox. It is super endearing in the main character from Attack on Titan. You know who is not endearing for? Tanjiro, whatever the fuck his last name is. I've never hated a main character more than when I watched Demon Slayer.
Wow.
Like I loved every character around this thing. The only time that I ever felt Tanjiro was like thorough was mid fight when he's physically doing the things, not when he's doing his
Mm,
monologue. And in the movie, like the movie that just came out, bro cooked. Bro cooked unimaginably. Like to me, that was really great. But whenever he get to talking and he like, I'm doing this for my dead family
yeah.
and my sister and I'm just like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, get off of my screen. Do some demon magic. Yo, what we doing, yo? Like, do the little wind shit that you be doing, yo. Yo, yo, sword of lightning, yo, fifth level type shit. Whatever the fuck they be saying. Do that. Don't sit here and give me a soliloquy about you being like, oh, I'm Tanjiro and I'm trying to save the world. I hate that. But when it comes to Naruto, and he's like,
It's good shit.
huh,
He gets you hype.
huh, I'm gonna be the fourth Hokage. Huh. I'm in the crib hype. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna be the next Hokage. Yeah. Cause he be like, bro, I got to this one episode where it was before the Chunin exams. They were trying to save the bridge from these assassins from the village of like the mist or something like that.
hmm
And this
And they
one
was getting
nigga,
washed.
but they was getting washed until that nine-tailed fox that Naruto had
hmm
started seeping out of him, and he quite literally turned into a dog on him, and was like, "Bitch ass niggas, I'm on you!" Killed him, right? Not killed him, but like did him dirty. And then Kakashi, my man,
Goat.
bro, he's
Goat.
with the shotgun gun, and then he has the lightning shit. What's the lightning junk called?
I
It's not the
forgot what that shit is
Rasengan,
called. I'm not gonna lie.
but
Forgot what
yeah,
that
but
shit
the
is called.
lightning
Haven't
junk
watched
that he
Naruto in a
had,
minute.
bro, it was amazing. Like this is the one thing I like about anime is that individual arcs, you could either be the A story, the B story, the C story. It doesn't matter. Whether you're the A story, the B story, or the C story, it doesn't matter. Like each individual story arc could be its own film. And it's probably the most amazing thing to experience, to have every level of character that you're introduced to, you invest yourself into. Like it's the most amazing thing to sit here and be like, yo, I'm invested in this bridge builder's story. I'm invested in this kid who lost his stepdad's story and how that affects the overall story. Like that's what I really, really love about anime. And again, Naruto is doing an amazing job of that. I'm super excited to like continue to go through it. What I'm doing with Naruto is I'm doing the version with no fillers, so I can try to like watch the actual show.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I'm excited. That's what I'm currently watching.
Okay. Last thing, how do you feel about since you just started your anime arc? I don't think I've seen like a couple episodes of Attack on Titan, so I don't think it has much of this. Demon Slayer doesn't really have much of this, but Naruto is really bad with it. How do you feel about the excessive goonerisms?
Naruto doesn't do that too much.
Okay.
He
Have you?
has the sexy he has the sexy lady
Yeah.
jutsu,
Yeah.
but like that Joan is you're first of all, we're ass- we're assuming that this is like a good looking sexy person. They have clouds covering everything important. Like nothing goonerous to me has really happened yet. Maybe it evolves into that, but
There's
like
gonna
so
come a
far,
time.
nah.
There's gonna come a time where Naruto gets a mentor. I'm not even gonna say too much, but it will get very, very freaky immediately.
Well, I
So
might I might be excited about that.
I
Who
no,
knows?
I don't think you will. I don't think you will. But I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see your reaction to the tuning exams. I'm excited to follow your journey throughout anime. To mention on what you said earlier about like the main characters being like super. Ooh, I'm gonna fight through every obstacle. Like super, like hell yeah. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
my favorite animes actually happen to be main characters who have none of those traits. So I don't know if you've
Mm,
ever heard of Neon Genesis Evangelion, but the
I've
main
heard of it. I
character,
haven't seen it.
you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Neon Genesis Evangelion, the inspiration for a lot of things like Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim is basically specifically based on Neon Genesis Evangelion, and they took a bunch of different
Okay.
turns with
Okay.
it. So it's almost like how The Matrix was based on Ghost in the Shell, a little bit
Yeah.
similar. So yeah, Neon Genesis Evangelion has a main character, and he's almost like he's scared of everything. He can't really find his inner confidence until he learns about at the end of the show, and even then, it's still not really like a happy ending. So I do want
Right.
to, and similar to Pluribus, Neon Genesis Evangelion asks a lot of questions about like the meaning of life and stuff like that. So I do want you,
Okay.
to put that on your list maybe some point.
I was gonna say I do have a long list, but that's definitely going on it. Like on my
Yeah.
list is Vinland Saga, Full Metal Alchemist
Full
Brotherhood,
Metal Alchemist.
and then now there's this other one that somebody added. I can't think. I don't have the list in front of me, but Neon Genesis I'm definitely gonna add.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go. I would love to see, cuz it's genuinely like my favorite anime ever made, and it was like made in the 90s, so it makes me cooler. Zay, what are you watching right now? Currently,
Yeah, Dave, what are you currently watching? Mind you,
I'm
guys, he was really excited to say this in the beginning. I don't know if we recorded that part, but he was really so it better
I
be
was
good.
really excited. I was really excited. Listen, I'm watching Welcome to Dairy right now. They're
Got it.
cooking. They're cooking. They're cooking.
Got it.
Listen, they're cooking. They're cooking. They're
You're
cooking.
the
They're
you're
cooking.
the only person to say that, by the way.
That Welcome to Dairy is cooking? No, I'm
Yes,
not.
I've
There's
well,
there's a, there's a contingent of
I've
us
only heard this.
that is
It's that
liking
same
it.
group chat that you're in about the Tron stuff. That
No, I
same
wasn't
group
them.
chat is like that same group chat is like, hey guys, we've moved on from Tron. We're we're on Welcome to Dairy now. That's what you're talking. That's what you're talking to them about.
No, but listen, I'm watching it and it's it's good for what it is. There are, of course, like it's a little goofy, not really scary all the time, and there's a lot of areas in the show where like it does struggle. It does struggle to get through some of the plot lines and stuff like that. But when the show is locked in and focused on the children, and the children are the main aspect of what's going on in the plot and everything like that,
Right.
that's when the show is cooking. That's when the show is cooking. The child actors are really, really good. I think the writing from them is pretty good as well. They don't sound like adults. They're not talking like adults. I hate when child actors sound like a 35-year-old man mulling over his decisions. I hate that. I'm glad that they're
Right.
making irrational decisions. I'm happy about that. And I think that the horror of the show, like I said earlier, it's a little bit goofy. It's kind of like it's kind of weird seeing this because I remember watching it and being horrified, but then I go into the show and I'm like, this is like kind of easy to stomach. It's not like hard to watch or anything like that. So it's not particularly scary. There are some jump scares and stuff like that, and there are some moments in the show where it gets me a little, I'm like, all right, don't go there. But yeah, I'm enjoying my time with the show so far. I really like it. If it turns bad, which there are reviews out there that says yes, it does turn bad, which I'm prepared for it because we're already getting some nutty plot lines. I think the military is trying to drop the clown on sorry if you don't care about spoilers. 3 episodes are out right now.
I do
The
not care.
military is trying to drop the clown on Russia, like as like a way to end the Cold War. And I think that is fucking hilarious.
Got it.
So I'm
Got it. That tells me everything I need to know.
that is so funny to me. I have to stick it out with this show. I have to see if they actually succeed. I have to, which I know they won't, but I have to see if they do. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently watching right now.
This guy's
Billy, you should
insane.
watch an episode, man. Watch an episode or two.
I'm not, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch the first episode, and
Okay.
the next time we record, I will talk about it.
Hmm.
So I don't these to everybody listening. These come out in like a different order than we record them. So eventually, you will hear me talk about the first episode. I don't know when, but if I hate it, I'm judging Zay for the rest of his life.
The first episode, listen, the first episode is really, really good. They just made a horrible decision, writing wise. But the first episode is really, really good. I do really like the first episode. It does get worse after that. But
Mind you, I'm
I'm
in the middle
sticking.
of watching the greatest thing ever, Naruto Uzumaki, and this nigga talking about some welcome to dairy. What's
Listen,
going on?
bro, it sounds bad. I know they did use AI in one of the posters. I peeped it. I was like, that's kind of
Jesus
bad.
Christ.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. They used AI for one of the posters. It's like, ugh, nasty, disgusting. We hate AI, right? We all hate it.
We do.
We
We
all
do.
hate it. A lot of us are definitely not doing gooner things at night to AI images, right, guys? You're not doing that.
I hope so.
I
I hope
hope you're
so.
not doing that. I see the
You,
ads.
I was gonna
I
say,
see the
you
ads.
listening right now, you
Yep.
watching right now. I hope you specifically
Yeah.
aren't doing it. I'm talking to you, Keon. I'm talking to you, Irk.
Yeah, I'm Listen, I'm knowing what's on the deep dark web. I know what y'all want to do. Y'all have to resist the urge, all right? You have to. We cannot be Listen. I would rather you buy a sex doll, please. Um okay. That's post credit
Actually,
clarity pod. Go ahead.
speaking of that, yo, we got our first sponsor, yo. Sex Dolls. We do have a code for you guys. If you guys go to sexdolls.com, type in PCC, you will get a 20% off discount. What
Yes,
does this have to
sir.
do with movies? There's a lot of sex scenes in movies. So stop questioning
Mmm.
us. We're trying to pay the bills. Link below. Check it out. Yo, Sex Dolls, 20% off.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Make sure you make sure you go do that, yo. I will put that link in the description. Yeah, it's been post credit clarity pod. Make sure you share the pod with all your friends, family, anybody who you think likes movies. They'll love us. Make sure you
They
hit the
will, yo.
mailbag. What you say?
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Make sure you hit the post credit clarity mailbag. Ask us any questions that you want to ask, and we'll respond to them
For
eventually at
sure.
some point
For
in
sure.
time when we
For
start
sure.
getting questions on the mailbag. Okay. Start asking questions. I didn't create that for no reason. All right. All right. It's been Billy. It's been Zay. PCC. We're out.
We out.
Goodbye, guys. Goodbye.